everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome back to License to Review. Eric this week has the license to review Moonraker, Bond in Space.
Yep.
I really enjoyed this movie.
Did you?
I really did.
That's good.
It's not good, but it's obviously insane by the third act, which everybody knows. Although, like you kept pointing out to me, people think the whole movie is Bond in space.
It's not.
And it isn't. But once it goes to the place that everybody always talks about this movie,
it's as crazy as everyone says it is.
It is just as the laser fire alone.
Yep.
When it turns into old school Battlestar Galactica, I'm out, man. Like that's it. It's nuts. But I have to give it the set from that space station because it's glorious.
Oh no, it's a great set. I always think of this movie. I always remember this because I don't go back to Moonraker very often. I always remember this being like. Everybody's kind of wrong about Moonraker in that, because this is in some ways just a remake of the previous movie.
Yeah.
Like, the plot is almost exactly the same, and we do a lot of the same things, and Jaws is back, and like the bad guy last time wanted to bring everybody underwater, and then like bomb the planet.
We're going up.
Yeah, we're going up space.
But we're still bombing the planet.
We make it more Aryan. Well, not Aryan, but like we make it more Nazi. Where like he's getting perfect physical specimens.
Yes.
Which might come from the book because that guy's secretly a Nazi.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's actually what that idea comes
And it
from.
does seem like a white supremacy type thing, right? Like
yeah, I think they are only all white.
But
but it's not the blonde hair, blue eyes. Like there's dark hair.
But it is all white people. He doesn't get people of any other ethnicity.
But I don't know if that's because the 70s or if it's because we're doing something.
And like he is going to get rid of Jaws because he's too big, and he's going to get rid of his girlfriend because she's too small. Like
it's because she has glasses.
Is that why?
Yeah, it's because she has glasses.
Okay, maybe Jaws is too dumb. I don't know if that actually has to do with his eyes, but
and he is too big, and he is dumb.
Oh, okay.
And one his teeth.
For a second, I wasn't sure about
teeth. He's got those melt teeth.
For a second, I wasn't sure about the bigness, but maybe it is partly the bigness. Anyway.
Well, he would not survive in space.
No.
But so I always remember this as being like, not like great, but like a lesser version of the previous film until the third act when it goes nuts. And it's not exactly that. It's more, it's more of a spectrum where like
yes.
Because it gets dumber as it goes along before it finally gets to the space battle.
I don't think the craziest thing is the space stuff. I think the craziest thing is Jaws meeting his lover. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
Just the way it plays, it becomes self-parody at that point.
Yeah, and there's some stuff.
It's as bad as the slide whistle.
Yeah.
It's maybe worse than the slide whistle.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a couple of things like that throughout the movie. Even the beginning, which I think is which might be the most impressive James Bond opening. The sky falling fight.
I enjoyed that. I don't know if I agree that it's the most impressive. There's too much rear projection in it. You know what I mean? Like,
there's not as much as you think. Like, it's rear projection whenever you like get close up on their face. But like, you watch two guys that don't look like He doesn't look like the guy who's doing Roger Moore doesn't look like Roger Moore, but he does not look like he's wearing a parachute. I'm sure it's hidden under his jacket, but they're like fighting in the air, and they really did that, and
that is impressive.
But it ends with Jaws flapping his wings,
so goofy.
Landing, and then like a weird like crotch shot. You remember that?
Yes, I do. No, I pointed. Yeah, because we linger on the crotch shot, which creates the beginning of the credits.
It's weird.
They do an outline. They do an animated outline of it, and then they start doing silhouettes. After the crotch shot, it's bizarre.
It's a weird
and
choice.
It has the weirdest opening credits I've seen so far with Bond.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're really not good.
Shirley Bassey's back for the Moonraker theme song. She did Goldfinger. She's fine.
Yeah.
I don't love Goldfinger.
That's not even sticking with me, to be honest with you. The theme.
Yeah, it's not a great one. The theme song wise, I mean, I guess the whole movie, it's not a great one. It's a real fun one.
It's also not a great Bond girl.
No, it's okay. So I don't want to say she's the worst Bond girl because there's a couple other contenders, mainly Halle Berry, as just awful.
Okay, but of what
she's
we've
awful
seen so far, acting wise, absolutely. Well, I've not seen one that's.
I feel like she's bad a different way than Halle Berry. Like it feels like she's. Like it hurts for her to act.
Yeah.
I feel like Halle Berry about that in a lot of movies. And some of the other Bond girls haven't been great.
Yeah.
But they're at least gorgeous. Like you know why they're there.
Yeah.
She's dull and just and modest.
Jean, yeah.
Yeah. And
she's not unattractive, but it's just. And this sounds real superficial, but what do you want from us? That's the.
It's weird that at the end of James Bond movie, Jaws is with a more attractive woman than James Bond. It's just weird.
Yeah, and it's weird that there's a chick at a desk that Bond has to deal with that is that looks more like a Bond girl than she does.
Yeah. It feels well, and
Do you remember like that Middle
I
Eastern
do.
girl or
I
black
do.
girl?
Now, I could not figure out whether she was hitting on Bond or offended by Bond.
I thought she was. I mean, again, this sounds real surface of us, but like,
it's a Bond movie.
She was more attractive, but also she was a better actress, and she had more going on. And I would have liked to have seen her the whole movie.
Yeah. So like the Bond girls, because like it wouldn't be as bad if she wasn't like a supermodel, but she brought like a real fun energy to it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I see what she's not the typical Bond girl physically, but she's also dull.
I wouldn't have even thought about that as much if she was like spunky and fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's another agent, so
yeah. Who
she should have
actually does get a little bit more to do at the end of this than Triple X did in the last movie, but like that doesn't really mean anything.
Triple X had a lot more chemistry with Bond, and she had a lot more
and she had some fun action scenes.
Charisma, and I even like the girl before that hits a button with her butt and blows up everything. Like I even like her better.
Yeah. So she's a complete wash, despite having probably after Pussy Galore the most like far a name goes. Her name is Holly Goodhead. Which must be a real name, right? Like, they wouldn't just throw that out of nowhere, I would think.
Well, no, probably not. But you know why it's there. It is that innuendo, obviously.
Yeah. Although I don't feel like we ever get a good joke out of that.
No,
like, we don't get like I can't think of the like really good zinger line.
Easy to pun. To do something with, right?
Yeah.
But like
even as little because I don't think he comments on it really at all. Like even as little as, well, I hope so.
Austin Powers is going to seem so much less ridiculous to me after watching some of these.
Yeah. Well, Austin Powers goes to space in second one, and they're not shooting laser beams all over the place. Like Austin Powers is more reserved in the second film in space than this movie.
But I mentioned that because of the sexual innuendo names.
Oh yeah.
That's why I brought that up.
Yeah.
Because you got that in that first movie. It's like, oh, that sounds ridiculous, but it's almost not any farther than a couple of these actually go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably mentioned that before, but it's crazy.
Yeah. The three big ones I think are Pussy Galore, Plenty O'Toole, and Holly Goodhead.
Yeah.
They're fun. Like that's a fun name, I guess. In the I also like the fake name from Casino Royale, where James Bond says that Vesper's cover name is Tiffany Broadchest. That's a pretty good one. And she's like, "No, it's not." And he's like, "You're gonna have to trust me." No, I think that fake one's pretty fun. And it sounds like a name they would have done in the '70s.
Because it's making fun of all this stuff.
Yeah.
But
no, it's. Roger Moore's also not elevating this material.
No, he's not.
In the last movie,
this is the weakest performance from him so far.
Yeah. Have
I seen all of his performances, or did I skip?
No, you did not see the first one,
okay.
which was Live and Let Die.
That's right.
But it's weird because so this I did look it up. This is the highest grossing Bond film until GoldenEye.
You mentioned that,
which makes sense because
you checked and made sure.
Yeah, I checked and made sure. So, which makes sense because Spy Who Loved Me is huge.
Yeah.
Spy Who Loved Me is the. We don't know if we're going to get to make another one, and then it's like James Bond's phenomenon again. And then Star Wars comes out, and they immediately because '70s James Bond is all about trend chasing. So blaxploitation is big. We do Live and Let Die, where it's like a blaxploitation movie James Bond. Man of the Golden Gun has like the weird kung fu stuff for no reason because kung fu's popular.
Yep.
Spy Who Loves Me is just a James Bond movie, but like what you think like it's a Roger Moore James Bond movie. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit sillier. And then Star Wars comes out, and well, we've got a book with Moon in the title.
Yeah.
We'll make a space movie. And
they stretched that and forced it real hard. Do you want to mention to everybody a little bit about what the book was?
Oh, yeah, sure.
To what,
because I do usually talk about that.
Yeah.
So the book is my second favorite James Bond book. The plot of the book is there's this guy named Hugo Drax, who is the bad guy of this movie, and he's
the destroyer,
and he's building a missile for England. I can't remember if it's a missile or if it's a rocket ship, but it's called Moonraker. And he's building it for. I think it's a rocket ship that's secretly a missile.
Oh.
He's building it for England. Like England's going to have a space program, and it's the first instance, and maybe the only instance in the books where James Bond's not on a mission abroad, because MI5 deals with like it's
domestic.
Yeah, domestic is what I'm looking for. It's FBI versus CIA.
Okay.
MI5 deals in England. MI6 deals outside of England. I think Moonraker's the only book where he deals just in England. And it's a personal favorite to M because Hugo Drax is famous. Like in this, they just kind of go to him. He's just like a guy. But like in the book, he's made headlines because he's this World War II hero who was found and had no memories. Like he was found like in like a battle site and he had no memories, and like he built himself back up and like is now like insanely wealthy and is making this major project for the British government. And he's like kind of like a famous figure at the time. And there's a whole conversation about it, and then M's like, okay, so if he's insanely wealthy and like this super good guy, why is he cheating my friend at cards? And we have another card scene.
So he's more like an Elon Musk kind of character.
Yes. And so we go. We have this card game. We don't get a card game in this, but like classic James Bond card game where James Bond goes in and figures out how he's cheating, and cheats to beat him, and in such a way that he can't say anything because the only way he would know that James Bond was cheating is if he revealed that he was cheating, like one of those kinds of things.
Oh, okay.
And then James Bond's deployed to kind of like, just like run security on the project and see kind of what's going on. And it turns out that he's secretly a Nazi and he's building a missile to blow up England because he either didn't lose his memory at all and was lying, or he did and he eventually got it back and discovered that he's a Nazi. And so it also has the...
That sounds like a Marvel plot.
It's very 60s Stan Lee, although it came out before Stan Lee, so maybe Stan Lee is very Ian Fleming. I would be shocked if Stan Lee wasn't really Ian Fleming.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what the female's name is in the book. I don't. Think
but it's not this.
I don't think it's Holly Goodhead. I'm pretty sure it's not. It has my favorite Bond girl ending, and I'm still waiting for it to be in a movie, especially now in the super progressive age. I'm really waiting for this ending, which is throughout the entire movie, Bond and this girl are in dangerous situations, and they never actually get together, but like dangerous situations heighten like sexual tension. Like this is a scientific fact. It's a thing. So like they almost do, but they never do because they're always in danger. And then when they get out of it, Bond's like, okay, so you want to like go for like a drink or something? And she's like, no, I'm engaged and my fiance's right here. And then she leaves and Bond's just left alone. I think it's great. I think it's great because even that early, because it's only like book 4 or 5, even that early he's messing with the formula. He's already going, Bond doesn't get a girl every single time.
Yeah.
And it also opens with him explaining what happened with the previous Bond girl, which is a thing that the movies never do. But basically what happened was, because the previous book is Diamonds Are Forever, they got together, and it was real fun at the beginning. It was all real exciting, and then like normal life set in, and like James Bond's very particular about things, and like living in his house was like driving her crazy because he's like, well, you have to do it like this, and this is what we eat in the morning, and like James Bond is very routine based.
Okay.
Yeah. And that drives her crazy, and so she can't put up with it, and she leaves. And like we never do that stuff in the movies. But like 4 books in, he's doing things like that. So yeah, no, it's a really good book. And I still think you couldn't do the Nazi twist. I still think the plot could be used today. I still think you could do an adaptation of Moonraker. You just couldn't call it Moonraker because this movie has that reputation.
Yeah. It would be interesting, if they do it, it'll be interesting to see what that graphic novel looks like.
Yes.
When they adapt that one.
Yeah. Amazon's talking about being interested in buying the James Bond rights.
That would be potentially great.
I would love it if they did a series of like period films.
Yeah. But I imagine.
But like on Amazon and kept making regular James Bond movies for the theater.
Yeah, but I could also see them doing a TV show.
Yeah, that too.
Which is a thing I never thought I would see. Like I never even thought of it.
No.
But serialized James Bond makes a lot of sense.
Although it did almost get made before the movies.
Did it really?
Yeah, because the Thunderball novel is built on a pilot for a James Bond TV show.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, not good. Like
no, but it's
probably better than you think
fun.
It would be.
Yeah, that's the thing is my expectations were so low.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed it a lot more than I probably thought I would, and I was just way too curious to see it, and it didn't disappoint. Like I'm glad I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always curious about it.
And it is a movie.
When you hear about things that infamous.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to imagine that it's as bad as people say it is, and it isn't, but it's bad.
Yeah, it is a big jumping the shark moment for the franchise.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
But it is a movie. I don't want to say critically reappraised.
But I have also seen later Bond jump the shark moments that are just as bad or worse. So like
I don't know if
the
this...
Sun Machine is pretty bad.
I don't know if this or Die Another Day is worse.
It's hard to say. They're like this.
Yeah. But, so... Where was I going? I was having like a final point about something about... Oh! I don't want to say this has been reappraised in recent years. It's not like On the Magic Secret Service where like everyone kind of went back and was like, oh, this is easily one of the best James Bond movies. Everyone's just angry that it wasn't Sean Connery.
Yeah.
This one, it hasn't been reappraised, but I have heard a lot of people kind of come out and be like, well, it's the first Bond movie I ever saw, and so I love it. And like, it's one of my favorites. And that's weird to me.
Like, I have nostalgia for it.
Yeah. I mean, I watched this movie when I was a kid. I don't have nostalgia for this movie.
Yeah.
I remember like the big thing I remember is the big spinny thing. I told you I went to I think it was Cape Cod. I went to Cape Cod when I was a kid.
And you were afraid they'd put you in.
I was afraid they'd put me in one of those things and they'd spin me. Oh, I have to mention this because I said I would last time and I totally forgot to mention it.
Yeah.
I said that I'm part of a Mandela effect because of this movie.
Yes. Yes.
So, and I didn't know it until like I just saw something. I was like, well, that's not true. Wait, it is true. So, I remember that Jaws falls, and there's this like gorgeous like Swedish girl with glasses, and he looks at her and smiles. He's got his big metal teeth, and then she smiles and she's got braces, and you're like, oh, they like each other because they both have metal teeth. And there's a thing. She does not have braces, and I've always remembered it this way. And then like one day I was looking at something online, and someone was like, yeah, it's like Jaws' girlfriend having metal teeth, and I was like, yeah, and they're like, but she doesn't. And
so that is true Mandela effect. That's not just a thing you had.
No. I discovered that other people have this too, and I didn't know that I had it until I saw people talking about it, and I was like, oh,
it's a collective memory. Thing. Yeah.
Yep.
That's really interesting. I'm glad you didn't forget that.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad I remember that right before it ended.
I liked the actor who played this villain. Okay.
Yeah, Hugo Drax is good. I don't like him as much as the last guy. I want to say he doesn't get enough to do, but I don't know if he gets any less to do than the last one.
Yeah.
He's good.
I thought he had an okay presence, and like I like how it's weird. I like how subdued his performance is, and then you've got like it's.
And I don't understand why people like Jaws after this movie. Yeah. Because like everything that I don't like about Jaws in the first movie is to the nth degree in this.
I also really like that that interior set inside the pyramid.
Yeah,
with the monitors, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a great.
That's
set.
One of the coolest sets I've seen.
And with the chair and there's like a pyramid.
That'll stick with me. I like that a lot.
That's super cool.
Well, anyway, that's it for License to Review. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. And if you're watching the Omnibus playlist, we've got just our last couple of things to do. We're going to do Captain's Log, and then we're going to do the letters pages. So stick around and watch those. And if you just tuned in for License to Review, thanks so much for watching this, and we'll see you again next time. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
Later, folks.